Alright everybody, today I am back with another Devs Tech where I take a look at my Yisan the Wanderer Bard. Yisan, whoever you are, however you pronounce it. Just ignore the shadows going on behind me, that's nothing important. What is important is Yisan the Wanderer Bard. I think we're just going to jump right into this now. I'm just going to sit here, hold the cards up. You guys are just going to have to try and read them from that distance. I'm just going to read the cards to you. Each one, all 100 cards, including the lands. No, I'm lying. Yisan the Wanderer Bard. Pay 3, tap it, put a verse counter on Yisan the Wanderer Bard. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to the number of verse counters on Yisan, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle your library. Yisan is one of those commanders that you want to build an EDH deck around because you can easily exploit its ability and just level them up multiple times a turn, just pump the field with creatures and just destroy your opponents. That is what this entire deck is about. We're going to start out with enchantments. I'm currently running 3 enchantments in this deck. The first one starting off, Concordant Crossroads. I want to be able to activate abilities on the turn that it comes out. It gives everything haste. I don't want to just drop it and let all my opponents benefit from it. I want to be able to drop it and then maybe task Karametra's Acolyte or Elvish Archdruid. You're going to hear me say this a lot. A lot of this is situational. Concordant Crossroads, situational, depends on the board state. I'm going to try and not spend too much time on each card. Quest for Renewal. It does come in handy because usually I'll be able to cast Quest for Renewal, tap my creatures, and get it up to 3, maybe 4 counters the same turn that it comes out. Say you've got a few elves, say you've got Yisan, you tap all of them, they untap during your opponent's untap step, and then you just repeat, basically. Sometimes you have to wait a couple turns to get the counters, but that just happens. Elvish Guidance. When you get Elvish Guidance, this thing can tap for 4, 5, 6, at least in the groups that I play with. There are a couple other decks that run elves. Elvish Guidance is pretty cool because it taps for the number of elves in play. I won't usually keep Elvish Guidance in my opening hand, so unless I draw into it, I don't really play it. So that's pretty much it for enchantments. Let's go ahead and move on to sorceries. I'm currently running 5 sorceries in this deck. We're going to start off with Revive. This is a monocolored deck, so paying 2 to get back any card is pretty fantastic. Revive is a good card, and I feel like it doesn't come in handy as often as I would like it to, just because in the meta that I play in, at bases, most of the time I'm not getting a lot of cards into my graveyard, unless someone plays All Is Dust or just destroys my field. Generally, I won't use Revive until maybe later game, when I'm just kind of getting screwed over. Situational. So many of these cards are going to be situational. It's really up to you when you want to play them, when you feel is best to play them. Because I feel like a lot of decks do pretty much the same thing, and they have like one goal, one path. This deck is so versatile. You don't have to just level up Yisan to 8, and then cast Craterhoof and trample over everybody. So many different ways that you can play. It does not have one single path. It's really nice that way. I'm running Harmonize in this deck. At least how I play, I don't really like drawing a lot of cards unless I'm kind of already ahead. I will not keep this in my opening hand. I will wait until I draw into it. 3 extra cards is not a lot. I'm not looking to draw a bunch of cards and have no maximum hand size. Drawing a few cards can really help. It's kind of nice. It can kind of give you like an extra boost. After saying that, I'm running Shamanic Revelation, so contradictory there much. No, I will not keep it all until I draw into it, and then I will hold on to it until I'm already ahead. Maybe I've thrown up on the board. When you are at that state where you have like 15 or 20 creatures on the field, but you can't really do much, drop Shamanic Revelation, draw 15 to 20 cards, who knows what you can get. I mean, the chances of getting something good in that amount of draw is really high. Shamanic Revelation just does not come in handy until later game. When you do play it, oh man, things can really kick off. Green Sun's Zenith. It's a good card. A lot of people play it. I can kind of search better with the creatures and Yisan than I can with Green Sun Zenith. It comes in handy. I just don't get the payout that I would like to get from it. I feel. Maybe I'm playing it wrong. Let me know. And the last one, Genesis Wave. I really like Gen Wave. Gen Wave is a fun card. Most everything in this deck is going to go to the field. And you will definitely have the mana for it. I'll wait till I draw into it, and then when I do, I will have the mana, and then I just throw up on the board. I feel like most of the time that I cast Gen Wave, I'll cast it for about 13, and I'll get 10 cards to the field. Everything pretty much goes to the field with Gen Wave. It's really nice. We're moving on to instants. I'm running 12 instants in this deck. Let's start with Worldly Tutor. It's kind of funny, but I feel most of the time that I get Worldly Tutor, I'm tutoring for a mana dork of some sort. Again, that one's very situational. It depends on how the game is going. It depends on my board state. If I do have the mana, maybe I'll search for something else, something high cost. I like to hard cast Craterhoof, which kind of goes against what you're supposed to do, I guess, but that's pretty much the story of my life. So depending on the situation, if I get Worldly Tutor, I will grab Craterhoof. Some people will play it completely different. That's just how I like to play it. Next up, we're going to talk about Avoid Fate. You'll notice that both of the counter spells that I'm running are pretty specific. Yisan gets a lot of hate. He will constantly be bounced, destroyed. Nope, sorry. You can't do that. Avoid Fate will come in handy more often than you think, and it's fantastic. Fog. You all know what Fog does. Do we really need to discuss this? I came across this one at Frankensons, and I don't know if you can tell, but this is gorgeous. 7th edition, promo Fog, worth the $6.50 I paid for it. Crop Rotation is just a fantastic card. Grab Nixos. Or grab Gaia's Cradle. You gotta run Crop Rotation. It's a good card. Vitalize. Like, there's just not a downside to that. Awesome, especially in this deck where the ability to untap is very strong because most of the time you're going to have the mana and you're going to be able to level up Yisan. 2-drop instants, starting off with Bind. This is my other counter spell that I'm running. It is more specific. I guess I didn't even really realize how many activated abilities there are, especially in the meta that I play. Very specific. In those situations, it can save you the game. It's fantastic. Haze of Pollen, basically another Fog. I put it in here though for cycling. Haze of Pollen, prevent damage, or cycle it if you want. Heroic Intervention. Heroic Intervention would definitely come in handy against things like All Is Dust, which just destroys creatures. You drop this, give them indestructible, you're safe. And then they get hexproof until end of turn. Harmonize, the next one, pretty generic. There's a lot of enchantments, there's a lot of artifacts in EDH. I put it in there just in case. I don't necessarily like it. I don't like being a defensive player. I'm a very aggressive player. I want to win as fast as possible. So if I need things like Harmonize or Fog, then I should just lose. I would kind of rather take them out for other stuff, but for now, they're good. Benefactor's Draught, I really like Benefactor's Draught. Who cares if I'm untapping my opponent's creatures? Most of the time, I'm going to have 5 times as many creatures as they do. Being able to untap and then just repeat Yisan's ability is fantastic. And you draw a card. For 2 mana, you get all of that. That is just fantastic. Dissenter's Deliverance. Definitely got some utility there. Kind of nice. I get the card. Maybe I want to destroy something, or maybe I want to draw a card. Beast Within. Destroy target permanent. Like, that is extremely powerful. However, it's a 3-drop, and they get a beast. I know there's probably some better things out there. Beast Within is good. I just wish it wasn't a 3-drop. Let's move on to artifacts. I'm currently running 8 artifacts in this deck. Let's start off with Soul Ring. Even if you don't get a mana dork, but you do get Soul Ring in your opening hand, cast Yisan, turn 2. Soul Ring is just an awesome, awesome card. You gotta run Soul Ring. We've got Sensei's Divining Top. Because top. Magerite Stone. This card is awesome. I'm gonna say it again. The ability to untap in this deck is fantastic. Magerite Stone, awesome card. Illusionist Bracers. Oh my gosh, Illusionist Bracers. This card is amazing. Put it on Yisan. Instead of searching for 1 creature, you're searching for 2. You can put this card onto, say, Seeker of Skybreak. Basically go infinite with it if you have any elf, really. Illusionist Bracers can be equipped onto pretty much anything that you want, as long as it'll pay off for you. This card has a lot of utility. It's fantastic. Highly recommend running it. 1,000-Year Elixir. Untapability. All of these untapability cards really help get you there. Staff of Domination. Look at the amount that this card can do. It requires 5 mana to go infinite with. It's a bit harder to get there, but definitely possible, especially if you have like Karametra's Acolyte. Staff of Domination is just awesome. You go infinite, gain infinite life, tap down everybody's creatures except your own, then you just draw your deck and just destroy everybody. Umbral Mantle. If you equip this onto anything that taps for 4, Karametra's Acolyte, Elvish Archdruid, Priest of Titania, very easy to do. You can go infinite with it. And they get infinite power and toughness. You gain infinite mana, you then begin equipping this onto all your creatures that tap and give them however much power you want. Umbral Mantle is just awesome. People don't like combo. The battery died, so I took that opportunity to change shirts because it's starting to get warm in here, especially with these lights. The meta at bases, at my local game store where I play F&M, EDH, it is extremely combo heavy. In order to keep up with that meta, you don't necessarily have to have a combo heavy deck. It's slightly combo. I don't rely on that to win though, which is really nice. That's why Yisan is so great, because you can play it however you want. It's absolutely ridiculous what you can do with Yisan. Umbral Mantle, Staff of Domination, those two are just kind of there to help me out a little bit against those crazy decks. So, last artifact, Extra Planar Lens. Extra Planar Lens is not one that I will keep in my opening hand. Extra Planar Lens is very hit and miss. It's a good card, especially if you have snowed out forests like I do. I just don't get the benefits that I would normally see from it in this deck. It really depends on the game. It is very situational again. Sometimes I'll end up with like 6 lands, sometimes I'll end up with 3 lands. It really depends. Again, let me know down below what you think. Let's move on to lands. Snow-covered forests. So currently, I'm running 30 snow-covered forests in this deck. They're so much better than just basic lands. Some people will disagree, but I will say that I started the snow-covered land trend at bases. They're not that much more expensive than your regular basic lands. A little bit, but they're definitely worth it. For non-basic lands, I'm running Nykthos. Nykthos is just an awesome card. You all should know what it does. You pay 2, taps for your devotion, especially in a monocolored deck. This thing is fantastic. Highly recommend running Nykthos. This is the card that I would grab with Crop Rotation. Play Crop Rotation, get Nykthos, tap for devotion, and just get all the mana. It's fantastic. And then after that, I'm running Wirewood Lodge. I took out a lot of the elves in this deck, but the elves that are in it still do a lot of things. And so Wirewood Lodge, being able to untap an elf, can really help, because that'll either be mana, maybe Seeker of Skybreak, where I can then untap Yisan. I find it to be helpful. Some people are running fetch lands in their monocolored Yisan deck. Why do you need that? You don't. You just don't need that. These 3 lands that I'm running do the job fantastically. A lot of people are playing lands that will come in tapped. Those are useless. Those are just completely useless. This deck is so fast. I do not want to have to wait for things to untap to be able to play anything. The one land card that would be good for this deck, of course, is Gaia's Cradle. Let me know down below what you think. Tell me why some of these people are running these lands. It just doesn't make sense to me. I've got creatures all the way up to CMC 8, and that's it. We're down to 39 creatures. We'll start off with the Mana Dorks. Burial Druid, it's a Burial Druid. Even though it taps for colorless, it'll still let me play this in turn 2. Finehorn Elf, these are all ones that I'm looking for in my opening hand, and most of the time I will get them. Most of the time I will be able to play this in turn 2 with the help from these cards. Llanowar Elf, again Mana Dork, Elvish Mystic, Arbor Elf, and then Birds of Paradise. Most of the time I'm able to play this in turn 2, unless someone counters him, then I have to play him turn 3. This deck is very consistent. 99% of the time I will say you will be able to play this in turn 2, and it really helps that you have these Mana Dorks. Heritage Druid is fantastic. It really helps get you there. Copperhorn Scout, underrated card in my opinion. Maybe I tap out, I level up Yisan, so I'll attack. I don't care what happens to him. Someone could block, he could die, but in that turn, you untap everything. Taunting Elf, kind of in there for filler, kind of in there for Heritage Druid and for Elf count. Sylvan Safekeeper, that has helped me a lot. I don't really like it just because it's not an elf and it doesn't tap for mana. You're gonna find that I'm very picky about things. There are cards that are very good and I just don't like them. It comes in handy, so it stays in the deck. So it's good enough, I guess. Virtual Ranger. That's pretty good. That can do a lot for you, especially when it's a bit later game, you've got your elves. Like, that can really come in handy. Let me know down below what you guys think of that one. Kyrian Ranger is one of the main ones that I will search for. Untap ability, I remove a forest, untap Yisan, play the forest, level up Yisan. Kyrian Ranger is just awesome. Staple for this deck. I've got 5 2-drops. We've got Seeker of Skybreak. Pair that with Illusion Bracers as we saw. Goes infinite. untaps Yisan. Seeker of Skybreak just has a lot of utility. You can do multiple things with it, which is really good. If anybody has any questions about some of these combos that I'm talking about, let me know down below and I can explain them. I can make a whole new video about the combos in this deck because, again, it is so versatile. Devoted Druid is one of those cards that I just hate. I just don't like it. There's a lot that you can do with Devoted Druid. I simply don't like it because it's a 2-drop mana dork. That's it. Let me know if you guys know of any combos with Devoted Druid. Scribe Ranger, fantastic card. I'll level up Yisan, search for Carrion Ranger, remove a forest, untap. I will then search for Scribe Ranger, remove a forest, untap, and then search for something else. If you have the mana. It's not unlikely, it is hard to do, but you can do it. Priest of Titania, staple. I will get priests in every single game. Priest of Titania will really help get me there. It can tap for a lot of mana, so it's really nice. Dwinnen's Elite. This is one that people say that they don't like it. You get 2 elves for 2. That really goes a long way, especially with Priest of Titania or Elvish Archer Druid. Dwinnen's Elite really helps. It pays off instantly. But again, it's opinion. It depends on what you like, how you like to play it. I'm currently running 8 3-drops in this deck, Gen Hydra. This could be 3, this could be 100. How do you classify the X cost cards? Because I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna cast this for like 12 and get 10 cards. I really like it because you then shuffle the rest back into your library. And then you have a 10-10 Hydra, Elvish Arch Druid. As you'll see, I have mana dorks from 1 to 4 CMC. That really helps because sometimes you may not be able to get the mana that you want in the first couple of searches with Yisan, so then you have that option with the 3 and 4 slots. Oak Street Innkeeper. Again, most of the creatures either tap or you can tap them in some way. So Oak Street Innkeeper really comes in handy as that extra protection just in case you need it, especially earlier game. Grab Oak Street Innkeeper, tap your stuff, then they're somewhat protected. Eternal Witness, we all know what Eternal Witness does. Do I need to even put it up here? Eternal Witness is a good card. This is one that I will generally search for later game, maybe with like Woodland Bellower. I won't keep in my opening hand. I won't search for it with Yisan. In those situations, a bit later game, I will like to pull Eternal Witness. Rexage, in certain situations, I will maybe search for it if they have a very devastating artifact or enchantment and things are just going their way. Or if it's later game and something's kind of preventing me from getting there, I will grab Woodland Bellower and then search for Rexage destroying something. Again, that just kind of depends on how the game is going. Omnath, you're not able to untap anymore, but you still have mana. Omnath is a good one in those situations. Sometimes you will have extra mana that you can't really do anything with, so instead of just letting it go to waste, you put it onto Omnath, you just float that mana, and then it's there for you if you need it, and then you have a creature with substantial power and toughness. Fierce Empath, fantastic card. If things are going well early game, I will search for Fierce Empath just so that I can get Craterhoof. Maybe I'm not able to untap as fast as I would like to, but I've got the mana, so I'll grab Fierce Empath and grab Craterhoof because I then don't need to level Yisan up to 8. I can still level him up to 8 and then cast some of the other stuff, but Fierce Empath, most of the time, I will get Craterhoof because like I said, I like to hard cast Craterhoof. Fierce Empath is just a fantastic card because you can search for 6 cards in this deck that do quite a bit. Especially early game, you will most likely have that mana. It's just fantastic because you will be able to cast it and do a lot of things. Shaman of Forgotten Ways. If things are going well early game, I've got the mana, I'm doing things, I will grab Shaman of Forgotten Ways. I could potentially kill at least 2 people in one go with Shaman of Forgotten Ways. The meta that we play at bases, all the decks that I play at bases, are not as creature heavy as this one. Like I said before, it's very combo heavy, and those combo players don't run a lot of creatures. Most of the time that I play Shaman, I'm killing people instantly, and then I'm taking everybody else down. I'm taking myself down too, but at that point, I've got at least 8 creatures on the field, and I'm just able to attack out and kill them because they'll have 1 to 2 creatures. I'll have 8. All I have to do is swing and they die. Let's move on to our 4-drops. I'm currently running 5 4-drops in this deck. Karametra's Acolyte. Karametra's Acolyte taps for your devotion, and it's in the 4 slot just in case I need that extra mana. Null Mage Shepherd. Null Mage Shepherd's alright. It's not my favorite. I rarely play it. I usually won't search for it until later game. You have to tap 4 creatures to destroy an artifact or enchantment. I'm running it just in case. It's not the best. I would kind of like to take it out for something better. Let me know if you guys know of anything better, because Nomad Shepherd, it's okay, a lot of people run it, it's a good card, I just don't really like it. It's a very big combo. A lot of people are running Temur Sabertooth, but you have to have a haste enabler. I don't know, maybe if I was to add those, it would be a bit better. There's better combos that you can run in this deck. Drove of Elves. Drove of Elves is one that I found just going through Elves. I have not seen this in any other Yisan deck. I don't know why. Is it banned and I just don't know it? Drove of Elves is amazing. Look at how good that card is. When I play this card, it's coming out at least maybe 6, if not more. Like, Drove of Elves is just awesome. It counts for an elf, it's a powerful creature. Why are more people not running that card? Green permanents you control. Do you see that? Yeva. Yeva is amazing. Yeva is one that I've been talking about getting for a while. It's one of the only responses for things like a Cyclonic Rift Overload. If you've got the mana and you've got Yeva, you go infinite, and then once the Psych Rift resolves, you just cast everything again. Let's move on to the 5 drops. Acidic Slime is just a good card. Land, artifact, or enchantment, and it's got Death Touch. You can search for it with Yisan, it can't be countered. It's just an awesome card. Seedborn Mother Frickin' Muse. This is one that I've got recently when I went down to Frankensons. I added to the deck, instantly paid off. Seedborn Muse, you have to have it. If you're running a Yisan deck, Seedborn Muse is a must. Untap all permanents you control. That is so powerful. It's extremely easy to search for it with Yisan, put it on the field, and then you're just doing everything on everybody else's turns. There's not much to say. There's not much to say about Seedborn Muse except definitely run it because it's a fantastic card. Soul of New Phyrexia, I learned the hard way, so that's why it's in there now, and it's going to stay. Woodland Bellower. I really like to combo Woodland Bellower, especially if I'm looking for more creatures. I will grab Woodland Bellower with Fierce Empath, and then maybe I'll grab, I don't know, Eternal Witness. Depending on what's going on, I'll grab something from the graveyard, or maybe I kind of missed my mana dorks like Priest of Titania, Elvish Archdruid, or maybe if things are going well, I'll grab Shaman of Forgotten Ways. I really like Woodland Bellower. It's really fun to do that. I don't know why. I really like just searching. It's fantastic to kind of combo like that. As you can see, I've got the search for high drop cards, and then I've got the search for low drop cards as well. The synergy in this deck is fantastic. You can do a lot with it. And of course, this is just my version. Like I said, and I will always say, you can do whatever you want with this deck, and I highly recommend you do. Moving on to 7 drops. We've got Regal Force. Maybe we've leveled up Yisan. We search for Woodland Bellower. It goes to the field. I'll then search for Fierce Empath, cast Fierce Empath, and then I'll grab Regal Force. At that point, I've got, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 creatures on the field, and then I'll just draw 10, 15, or 20 cards. That'll get you there. Chances of getting something that's going to help you is very high. 6, 7, and 8 slots in this deck give you a lot of options. And then Hornet Queen. I wanted another card for my 7 slot. It's not the greatest, but it kind of helps you in later game just in case. I'm running 3 8 drops. Archetype of Endurance. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know why it's in this deck. I started making this video and I was like, I need to take it out. Every single time I've played Archetype of Endurance, it hasn't helped me. It just doesn't do it. Like, I don't like it. I'm gonna end this video and instantly change the deck. Terastodon. I like Terastodon. This one's nice. Quite often, I will throw up on the board. I will level up Yisan. I have Crater Hoof in my hand because I've already pulled it. There's still some people that have got a few things on their field. It's a later game for sure. But later game is when you're most vulnerable. People will save cards until you build up your board and then just destroy you. Being able to play Terastodon late game and maybe destroy someone's lands can save you from having your board wiped. Crater Hoof is a good card. I like to hard cast Crater Hoof. That definitely has its disadvantages. It can be countered at that point. That's a chance I'm willing to take though. I just don't like leveling up Yisan to get Crater Hoof. I just don't. Crater Hoof is just awesome for this deck. You throw up on the board and then you cast Crater Hoof. Your creatures are getting like plus 15, plus 15, plus 20, plus 20, and they have trample. Crater Hoof is simply awesome. That's what makes this deck awesome. It does not have a single win con, which a lot of the decks do. It's got the options. And I really like that about this deck because you can really build it however you want. You can make it more combo heavy, you can make it less combo heavy, you can make it more aggro. I will link my tapped out account down below. You guys can go check that out. Well guys, that was pretty much the video. I hope you liked this sort of deck tech. I didn't want to do a normal, just kind of look at the cards. I want to put them up on the screen so that you guys can see it. Let me know down below what you guys thought of my Yisan deck. Definitely tell me if I'm playing some of these cards wrong. I just want to know what you guys think about it. I hope you guys liked the video. Hopefully this wasn't too long. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up and definitely subscribe for more. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep playing Magic.